I feel like I feel a spirit very close to me right now. I guess we can start.
Pretty overwhelming. There's a lot of heavy hitters here. There's just some really fast guys. So just being part of this, you know, for the first time, I think we have enough experience between all of us where, I mean, once we get going, I don't think any of that's going to bother us. Just try and do as good as we can.
The United States has assembled 3 riders to line up against the best of the supermoto world. Let's follow Team USA on their journey in Italy as they go up against the world's elite at the SuperMoto of Nations for the first time ever. In their first appearance at the FIM SuperMoto of Nations, Team USA bands together its 3 top current supermoto athletes from around the country to compete in Italy. Let's meet the riders.
Ever since we started our Supermoto series, we wanted to try to get a team to the Supermoto of Nations because we felt it was important to have a U.S. team represent the sport that we're trying to promote in the States. Working with AMA Supermoto, we had to select, you know, the team riders who we felt were qualified and who were going to put on a good show for the United States.
Got started in Supermoto about 2004. It was right after I won the AMA Flat Track Horizon Award. And then I kind of got into Supermoto. I got to test with KTM. And then I ended up getting to ride for KTM for 3 years after that. Raced the AMA Pro Supermoto Series, had some good results, a couple podiums. I won a race. And then about 2009, I kind of got back into flat track, got away from Supermoto, but always had the love for it. But luckily got back into it about 2012. And then after that, it was kind of on since then. So I got to do some racing in 2013, and then this year raced the whole FIM North America Supermoto Championship.
I started racing Supermoto in 2006. Saw it in Dallas, Texas. They had a race, went and watched. The next week I went and borrowed a bike from a friend in California, flew out there, did one local race, won it, the beginner class or something. Went and bought a bike the next week and then raced the Pro Nationals the following weekend.
I initially just started riding around in my yard, and my dad basically started a Supermoto series around my area, and I kind of just worked my way into racing as I got a little bit older and kind of just went from there. I've been in Supermoto for as long as I can remember, so I've pretty much stayed in it. It's one of the greatest sports, I think.
You know, as a team, we're all talented riders. You know, Gage has a road race background, but you know, also a lot of supermoto. And then Monte Frank, you know, he's just, you know, he's kind of veteran, just kind of, you know, he picks up things a lot different than we do. So
the dirt here suits me good because my background's motocross, so the more dirt, the better for me. I think like Gage, good road racer. Johnny's flat track, motocross, a little bit of everything, so he seems to go good on their Aprilia. So I think we'll have a fun time.
While the riders were focused on the upcoming SuperMoto of Nations weekend, they also enjoyed the sights and sounds that Italy provided. Let's see what the riders experienced near the host city, Cremona, Italy.
Cremona it's pretty cool. I mean, it's just totally different from America or any place I've ever been, so it's unique, and I like just walking around, finding new stuff, and it's cool to explore. And
I brought my 7-month-old son along with my wife and my buddy Zach to come film. So we've been doing a lot of adventures, just kind of just shooting everywhere, the airports, just trying to take in the whole experience. One to show Max and my son when he gets older, but also to you know, show the friends and family once we get home.
It's been fun. It's totally different here, but it's a great time. We've had a good time. Saw a lot of fun stuff, a lot of good people.
You know, yesterday was pretty neat. We stopped in Florence and kind of checked that out, and you know, the buildings there are amazing. And my wife, she's art history, you know, did art history and kind of knows a lot more about everything than me, but I took it as it was her day, so I think that's been one of the best days so far, just to let her enjoy it.
I think now that we've been here for 8-10 days, I'm pretty much on board with the food and the time and not having trouble with sleeping anymore. So I think we're pretty good now.
Everybody in the pits is real nice, and it's cool to just see everybody from all over the world get together for one race and kind of just come together as a Supermoto family.
You know, everybody deals with new experiences in different ways, but everybody's positive. They're looking forward to getting on the track and, you know, doing the best that we can for the United States.
Days before the SuperMoto of Nations kicks off, Team USA was able to test their rides at a local test track in Viterbo, Italy. It was an interesting day for the riders.
Testing was good. I mean, we got to try the bikes. The bikes are totally different animals than what I'm used to, or Gage or Monte Frank. We're all used to you know, KTM, Honda, Kawasaki. So the Aprilia being a V-twin, you know, the size, even the way they set the bikes up over here is completely different from what we're used to.
The Aprilia, it's a good bike. It's a fast bike, but it's a totally different bike. It's not like what any of us are used to riding. It takes a different style. I think it'll be good. At least we got one day of testing in, so we kind of know where we're at and what the bike does somewhat. So I think with practice tomorrow, we could get a little better and a little bit more comfortable, and maybe make a few more changes with some map settings and stuff. But I think we'll be good.
We only had 2 months to put everything together, from trying to find sponsors who, you know, could contribute financially, products. Enzo Motorsports jumped right in for custom leather suits for the riders, for the entire team, including, you know, all the standby riders.
Like this weekend, the track's really, really fast. So we're used to kind of a little bit slower tracks. We're kind of backing in more, getting the thing to change direction, where these guys are kind of road race style, keeping the bike in line. And it definitely showed. It was a big experience for us Tuesday to kind of see how all that interworks. You know, the bike and ourselves, our riding styles, we have to work on it. And I think that's what's going to be, tomorrow is going to be the 2 practice sessions we get. We're going to be working on that.
We're just getting into the ring now on the World Supermoto level. I have every expectation that we will continue, you know, to represent the United States in all, you know, future Supermoto of Nations events, to run with the best.
Being a part of the first U.S. Supermoto of Nations team is pretty surreal. I actually didn't know that they'd never had a team before, so being the first, one of the first riders on the team is just crazy. And I hope we can show the U.S. that we should come back and do it again. I
know our levels, you know, as riders, we're still kind of just picking back up to what pace we were back, you know, in 06, 07, 08. And I think to be part of it, kind of see the progression again, and bring that along to, you know, hopefully further down the road. This isn't the, you know, first or the last time coming. It's, you know, this is just the beginning. So I think being part of it's a neat experience, and hopefully we can grow this, you know, continue coming.
That's a pretty cool thing. I mean, to be doing Supermoto, I mean, I've done it for quite a while, and I've stuck with it pretty much since like 2006. And there's not a lot of people that have stuck with it. So just to be on the first team, I mean, I'm pretty grateful for them guys picking me.
Friday afternoon. Yeah, Friday afternoon, we're running the bikes through tech. They check the leathers, check the helmet, just make sure everything is, you know, FIM approved. So it's pretty neat. They have a lot of restrictions and stuff, so it's good that they're up on top of things, but also time consuming.
I think if we were top 10, we would be pretty stoked on that, just considering it's our first time ever, and just the whole learning process and everything we have going.
It's gonna be neat just kind of to get behind the guys, see their type of riding style, and I think that will allow me to kind of adapt a little better.
I think to match what the Europeans are doing, it's just gonna take time, and trying to just continue to compete with those guys, because those, right now, the Europeans are extremely fast, and we need to compete with those guys to get up to speed.
As of the team, I think we got a good team behind us, so I'm not too worried, but you know, things happen in racing, so we'll just have to wait and see.
All right, we're getting ready for our main event number 1 out of 3. So 2 riders, so Johnny and I are in this first one. We're gonna try and get some points or whatever for the team in the first race. I think we'll be good. We just gotta stay up, kind of try and work with the track, learn these bikes a little bit more, so we'll be good. my first practice, about the third lap maybe of practice, was my first hard lap. Tucked the front at 80 miles an hour. Never wore leathers before, so thank God I had the leathers on. But yeah, I slid 100 feet or so, and then so I got no practice. So I went out for the timed qualifier, third, fourth, fifth lap, something like that. The bike shut off on the face of the triple. So pretty much KO'd myself there again. So I maybe got 5 or 6 laps total of practice on the track before my race. My thigh was so bruised and everything, I could barely walk. I just had to suck it up and get through the race so we could get enough points to make it to the A main, and luckily we made it by 1 or 2 points. So every moto I just tried to make the best of what I had, trying to figure the bike out a little bit better. I progressed as the day went on. I think my final race was probably my best one of the day just because I felt the most comfortable on the bike. You can't come here not 100% prepared. Everyone here is really fast, and they've got their crap together for sure. So next year, we know what we've learned this year, and next year will be better for sure.
I ended up being the last 2 races out of the 3-race format, and I started in the 15th position on both races. And in the first race, I kind of got a good start, and then the first turn kind of bunched up, and I got shuffled back a little bit, and then made a mistake going into the dirt section and got passed by a couple more guys. So I was probably running around 24th or something at that time, and then I started to pick my way through the field a little bit, got up a couple of riders, and then I made a mistake again. The bike kept shifting into neutral. And then I would have to catch back up to the guys that gapped me, and then I think I ended up 20th, so it was a okay race, but should have done a lot better starting from a little bit farther up. I think the first year for the Americans didn't go so well, but it's okay. We're just getting our feet wet with this, so next year hopefully we got maybe some different bikes, and we'll be more prepared, so I think it's going to be good.
Just the experience was good. I mean, we did learn a lot. We knew what we should ride, you know, what tires. I mean, we got applicated to everything. The track was fun. I mean, the track is a lot of fun. It's a lot faster than we're used to, but it's nothing that we can't get used to and be competitive. I was able to run good tires, get a couple good laps in my heat race. You know, I dropped down to a 17, and the fast guys were still like 3.5 seconds faster. But I mean, we're on motorcycles we weren't really comfortable on, and the track. These guys actually raced a World SuperMoto race at the beginning of the year, so there's a lot of track times, a lot of advantage these guys had on us. But it doesn't mean that we can't now know what to go home, train for, get everything ready for to kind of come back next year and be strong.
The timetable was so aggressive, and being the first time that we're coming to the SuperMoto of Nations, we wanted to try to make sure that we covered everything. And you know, even still, with a project this big, it's, you know, there's going to be gaps, and you know, we're dealing with any hurdles or obstacles that we encounter on this trip, and just trying to, you know, work through them and do the best we can. Thanks to all of our sponsors who helped get the U.S. team here: American Cargo, Eyeball Moto, Factory Aprilia Racing, Enzo Motorsports, Arai America, Impulse Design Company, Evans Cooling, Tiramisu Construction, Golden Tire. I'd like to thank Matt from MXPTV for joining us on this adventure and experiencing the SuperMoto of Nations and covering with all the great footage.
B-roll, man. Is that B-roll? I think it's A-roll. No, maybe C-roll? No, I think it's a spring roll.
America.